Hello, welcome to Always Yarn First, the podcast that delves into knitting, crochet, spinning, and all things yarn. I'm Lindsay, and I'm coming to you from Central Arkansas. To stay updated on my latest yarn adventures, you can follow me on Instagram and Ravelry as Always Yarn First. And I already had to put my hair back because it was making me crazy. So we're at a great start already. But this is episode 77. If you are new here, thank you so much for giving me a try. I hope you will stick around. I do a traditional podcast style. And if you are returning, thank you so much. My last episode was crazy, and I am going to literally try to not say the word so many times because I almost didn't even post the last video. I was so embarrassed by it. So thank you for not slamming me in the comments. I appreciate you all. All right, I have gotten a screen, but you can see you can still see things in my bedroom. So I will try to figure out something else, but for now, we're just gonna go with it because that's what we do here. This is real life. It is Wednesday, December 4th. I cannot believe it is the last month of the year. It is crazy. All right, before we get into it, one tiny bit of admin. I am co-hosting a make-along. It is the Stripe Along 2024. It goes through December 31st. I'm co-hosting it with Amy of Happy Little Yarn. She is hosting on Facebook. Jesselyn Janice is hosting on Instagram, and I am hosting on my Ravelry page, which there is a chat and a finished objects thread. Each of us have been just selecting our own prizes, so make sure you are posting on all the available means to try to earn a prize from that. All right, before we get into it, last thing is I name every single episode off of a song title because before my love of yarn was my love of music. So this week's episode, I couldn't really think of something that perfectly nailed where I'm at right now, but I decided to go with Build Me Up Buttercup by The Foundations, just because life, things, and I feel like I'm trying to talk myself into positive vibes. Are you with me? So let's get into it. I am wearing a knit today. This is my Cloud 9 by Andrea Yetmen. I don't go into all the details, but I do have my Ravelry pages below, so you can go on there and get all the information. I love this sweater. All right, let's get into some finished objects. Also, I forgot to mention that I will have timestamps below for each section in case you want to jump around. We will have finished objects, cast-ons, whips, spinning, acquisitions, and goals. I have 2 finished objects this week. One being my November Desert Vista Dyework socks. Here they are. This is, I don't know what color because I don't have that note in front of me. So excellent. I will put it on the screen here. I have 1 more month to finish the whole year of these, and it is the 4th, and I haven't cast on because advents, which we're going to get into here in a bit. But my goal today being my day off, I need to at least get those cast on today to start those socks. But happy there's only 1 more month of that, and then I got November's done. All right, I have 1 other finished objects, and I don't have it here, but I will insert some pictures. I may have mentioned, maybe I didn't. I am kind of in charge of putting classes on the schedule for Arkansas Yarn Co. If you're new, I work at Arkansas Yarn Co. And I do weekly newsletters, which also means I try to keep the calendar full of classes. So we are really trying to buff up our calendar schedule for classes this year, getting some new instructors in, doing some things, trying to do some beginner classes, followed immediately by some more advanced classes. So we're starting that off in January. I will be doing a beginner 2-color stranded class, and I picked the hat, the Quick Ombre hat by Emily Dormier, and I just thought this hat was great. First of all, it's a free pattern on Ravelry. And this hat is great because if you're truly a beginner and new to wanting to start color work, you may have heard people talk about color work in the sense of catching their floats, which is essentially if you have color work so long, you have to catch those so the floats aren't so long in the back. But this pattern I found was great. For the stitches were just right. You don't need to think about catching your floats at all. It is truly a fantastic beginner hat for color stranded work. So this one is great. I picked it, I started it one night. The next day I came home sick. That was actually last Tuesday. I came home sick from work. I don't think I touched it. Wednesday, I finished the hat. So went very fast. I'm super excited about this hat. And then I made this hat as a sample for the store. So it is at the store. And I used, and I didn't write that in my notes either. I am just failing at podcasting today. I used Malabrigo. Oh, you know what? I have it here because, spoiler, I bought more of it. So this will be an acquisitions. But these are literally the colors I used. So I used Malabrigo Rios. I used one color of the water green. And this one is denim. And I took note in my Ravelry. I started with this one and I used, I believe, 33 grams. And I believe 26 grams of this. So being that these are 100-gram skeins, you could easily get 2 full hats. And if you want to do a small hat, this pattern also comes from sizes baby to adult male. I did the adult female, so there's one size bigger than what I did. So you could maybe squeeze out 3 hats with 2 skeins of worsted weight yarn. Went so fast. Super good. I wore this to try it out, and my daughter saw me wear it before I took it to the store. And as soon as she saw me, she said, "Oh, I want that hat." And I said, "Well, this is a store sample, but I can make you one." So I was going to make opposite for me with the yarn I already have started, which I actually may have it right here. I do. So I still have my yarn here and my needles and the pattern in this bag that's sitting by my desk. Probably won't start soon because, again, Advents and things that need to get done. But I have it right here. So I will start the next one for me, which will have the denim on the bottom and then the water green toward the top. Super great hat. Super quick knit. If you need a gift and you have some worsted hanging out, I definitely suggest this one. All right, that is all of my finished objects. So let's get into some new cast-ons. All right, let's go into my Advent socks first. So I purchased the Woolens and Nosh. And if you've ever gotten theirs before, then you know that there's a button in the middle. It's already caked up in 2 50-gram cakes. And the thing that's different about this year is besides this awesome bag, there was no extra goodies. It was just the yarn, which actually made it more affordable this year, which is great. And she also sent this. Man, I'm sure I mentioned it on the podcast when I got it, but I got it a couple months ago. So she did not do it as a Christmas style sock. And I forgot until today. I was on Instagram and I saw someone else posting their Woolens and Nosh socks, which completely different than mine. And then I remembered, right, she said that they're not going to be identical to everyone. Not that every single one is original, but they're just all over the place, which is interesting. So this may not even be a spoiler for you if you have it, because this probably isn't what yours looks like. So today is December 4th, and I've already done today's stripe. I am doing them tandem. This is the mini skein, basically a black or a very, very dark gray, but I think it's more black. So here are my socks. December 4th. So they've been blues, and today I got into orange. So these are always fun. It's about 3, maybe 4 rows of color that I get to do before I stop. So that's very, very easy, quick. It's always the first thing I do. Get my coffee and I work on these first thing in the morning. So that's been fun. And then I was just saying how busy I was, but yet I decided to sign up for a test knit. Now, unlike other podcasters and knitters that they say that and because they sign up to test knits all the time, I don't sign up to test knit all the time, but my friend MC was asking for a test knit. I had gotten the email because I always get her emails, and I'm like, no, I don't have time for a test knit, so I deleted it. And then, of course, on Instagram, she's like, hey, I only have this one size filled. Like, I could really use some test knitters. So I caved. I'm hoping to get it done. I have through almost the end of January. And it is I don't have the pattern. It must be on the sofa. It's a t-shirt, except it's open. So I don't think it'll be take me very long to do. But again, December, that's the problem. So I'm using Chowku US 7s too. So this is a DK weight, and this is as far as I've gotten, which doesn't look like much. But this will go on the shoulder like this. So I have to make 2 of these panels first. So I have 1, 2, 3, I have 4 more inches to get done on this one. So I'd love to make that a goal just to get this done today. That would be awesome. And then start the second one. But I am using yarn that is Deep Stash. I got this quite a while ago, and it was when Legacy Fiber Arts was clearancing some things. So I was able to snag a sweater quantity of DK weight. This is Legacy Fiber Arts, their 4-ply DK weight, 245 yards per 100 grams, merino nylon. And this is in Candy Apple. I think for this, I did the math and it was like 4.08 skeins of yarn. So hopefully just 4. And then I'll have a DK weight left because I bought 5 of these and I can make a hat or something. Red is not usually my color. This one isn't so bad because it's not as in your face, I feel like. But yeah, that's as far as I go. So that is not a secret test knit. That's the word I'm using. It is, as of right now, it's called the shoulder shell. But that may change. I don't know the date, but I will keep you updated on here. And this is in one of my Woolly Bean bags. All right. That is all of my new cast-ons. So let's get into the couple of whips that I've worked on. Let's start with this one because it's the same thing. So I'm going to show it so briefly. I just show you guys, say that you like to see progress because progress is progress. So this is in my Della Q bag. This is, of course, my Unicorn Cloud Wrap by Mermaids Purl. And you can see my marker here. I've gotten some progress, but I think that was like the first few days after the last podcast because I haven't been working on this near as much, and I definitely haven't since December 1st Advents. So you probably won't see it next time. But I did move my marker up, so at least I will have that at the right spot. And this is using Moondrake Unicorn Clouds, which is the two wrapped together. Both of those yarns come together in a pack. And it is the colorway Juicy Fruits. Also getting a very little bit of work done is in my Black Pearl Magic bag. This is the Diggory tee. I'm still working on the same panel. And once again, my pattern must be on the sofa. Since living alone, like I just leave my spinning, my knitting, wherever I last worked on it. That's where it lays, which is kind of not great habit. It's nice because then I just sit right back down at night and I'm like, oh, here's right where I left off. But I'm used to being in a house sharing with people where it was limited space, so I always had to put every single thing away at the end of the night. And now I'm not having to do that, which is why today on my day off, I need to actually pick up the house. Not that it's dirty, it's just I have gotten used to laying things because no one's going to complain to me about it. So here is this garment. I have been just working flat on this. Turn it around here without dropping my stitches. You can see, again, some progress. And I've talked about the pooling on this colorway. I am okay with it. I know it's very different, and this would make some people absolutely crazy. When you look at this, that was one skein, but then you look at this, and this is even with me switching to alternating. But I love the colors in it so much, so I am not OCD about that. It's not going to bother me. I'll notice it, but it's not going to bother me. This is the colorway Oceanic Oasis by Charming You. My friend Maureen. Love it. I really, wanted to get this done by end of year. Like I've mentioned, there's a couple sweaters I really wanted to cast on during winter, but when I was cleaning off, I have my IKEA cart. I know you can see part of it here, which usually has all my current whips on it. Current whips. But to podcast, when I roll it in here in the bedroom, I take out all the projects that I haven't worked on the last 2 weeks. So it's just easy to pick every single bag up. I think I took 5 project bags off here that have not gotten some love in a while. And that's not even including my Wave to the Fans blanket, which was on the floor by my knitting chair. So I love December. I love working on Advents. I love getting a present each month and working on special projects. But I almost feel like January is going to be focused on, okay, let's get some things done again off my needles. I know I had this moment right before I moved, which I'm so thankful I did because then move month, my mojo was all over the place. I didn't really knit and do anything a lot. And then now we're into Advents where I have 5 Advents, and I feel like I don't have time to work on these projects that I've started and I still want, I just don't have time. So I'm very conflicted feeling right now. All right, one more thing I worked on, and this is the other thing besides Advents that I'm devoting a lot of my time. You saw this last time. This is in a North Texas yarn crawl bag. It was gifted to me. This is a project I'm doing for a customer. I don't know the colorway because I don't have the tag other than it is a Dragon Horde yarn. This is the Musselburgh hat. And I made quite a bit of progress. So way down here is my stitch marker. I have been booking along. I have since, on Thanksgiving Day, because everybody had off, my friend had a bunch of girlfriends over in her movie room and we watched movies. So I watched 2 movies while I knit on this. And then I went and saw Wicked, and that was like 3 hours long. So I watched that while knitting on this. And now I'm at the point where, again, because I realize how much I want to get back to my whips other than just Advent knitting, and I want this off my needles. So for me, I've mentioned it many times before, I get super, super bored with stockinette. I know some people love when it gets to this point. It makes me crazy because it's so boring. That's why I've had to force myself to watch movies and not touch anything else. So this is a project I've definitely, like, I've been taking to work, not like I get a lot of knitting time at work, but sometimes, because if I'm in the front and being available for a customer, I will sit there and knit for a bit. I've only been taking this because I don't want to take something I really want done, because this needs to be done. I would like to get this done by this weekend so that next Monday we can call the customer and be like, come get your hat. That is my goal. I need to watch like another few movies to pick out. Not shows, because I feel like with no commercials, like 40 minutes isn't long enough. Like, and then I get distracted. I'm like a squirrel where I go get up and do something else. Where a movie, I'm like, okay, don't pause it. Just sit there and just knit on this hat. So I'm just in the stockinette. I measured this morning. I think I have a couple inches left before I decrease. And once you decrease, you're pretty much almost done with the hat. So this is my goal, to have this finished and for next podcast, and you won't see it, hopefully. So yes, this has gotten a lot of work done, because what motivates me with stockinette projects is going to movies, car knitting it, or to the point where I'm like, okay, I need this off my needles, so I'm going to force myself to work on this because I'm over it. And sometimes I'm just like that with other whips also, where I'm like, I'm good, I just need it off my needles. So that's where we're at with that. And that is all I have been knitting on. So next, very briefly, we will talk spinning. And I have been spinning my Advent fiber from Fiber Nymph Dye Works. So this is through day 3. It's been lots of purples. Like, I think it started off with like a purpley pink, and then it went into this lighter purple, and this was yesterday's, this darker. And today, day 4, it's actually blue. So I haven't started that one yet. But yeah, not much to say about this. This is Fiber Nymph Dye Works. Her Advent was called The Mystery of Color. So she gives little fun facts and things about color in the Advents, which has been nice. And it is BFL. I got the BFL. So this all is BFL, which I really enjoy spinning. I know that there's some people that are spinners that do not care for it. I have no problem with BFL. I enjoy spinning it. So that's all to say about that. I pretty much am going to do what I did last year. I got Fiber Nymph Fiber Advent, and I'm just going in order, so many days to each bobbin, and then I don't know if I'm going to apply them together. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on that. And I may not make up my mind till just all the single plies are done. So I probably won't complete plying and everything on these. I will just do each day. And I did get a 25-day 4 ounce. So who knows what color that will be, or if it'll be like a rainbow, like all the colors. If so, maybe could be spin that and then ply it with the others. We'll see. All right, so I have 2 sections left. So next we will get into acquisitions, and then we will end this podcast off with goals for December. So, acquisitions, you've already seen. Basically, I got acquisitions from 2 places. Yeah. One, which I have here because I got it from my job, Arkansas Yarn Co. Both of my purchases were on Black Friday. I got this to make more hats, which I love. And then I got a skein of this. This is the DK Surrey. This is the colorway Roller Derby. I love this. I have a giant, let me see if I can get it really quick. Okay, so I've previously made this cowl, which is a pattern from Knitting McPurley, which we'll talk about more in a second. This was using Knitting McPurley's yarn, which is a DK Surrey. Lori also got this yarn in and dyed a couple of skeins, and I've been eyeing this hot pink one for a while. I love this cowl because you can't really tell with mine so much, but one end is smaller than the other end. So you put in the large end first, and the smaller end hangs by your neck. Now, I love this cowl because, and the name is, I'm blanking on it, so again, I will put it on the screen. But this pattern, I love it because it's more decorative. Like, you look at it, it's so lightweight looking, and it doesn't look like it's going to be warm. But the Surrey and the DK weight is so warm. So this is, to me, like the perfect thing to wear during the cooler months, especially for me because I'm hot-blooded. So I don't need something to feel super heavy on me, but this still will keep me warm. Like right now I can wear it and I won't be hot in the house. But when it's cold outside, like I need something. But then if you go into the grocery store and you're like, okay, I have to take off all the layers because I'm dying. This is nice and lightweight, but still gives you the warmth. So I plan on making another one of these with this hot pink yarn because it's hot pink. All right, that is, I feel like I got something else from Arkansas Yarn Co., but that is all that's in my bag, so maybe not. All right, the next thing I got, I don't have yet. I ordered also from Knitting McPurley on Black Friday. She was having a sale also. And I got, I'm wondering if I can get a picture of what I got. She may not have it anymore, but she had an amazing set of colorways, and it was in a bundle. It was called the Christmas Bundle, and I got the colorway Candy Pop. She had 2 different colorways. She had like a traditional classic Christmas, she called it. But this one is hot pink, like a candy pink, bright green, bright aqua, just perfection, perfection. And with her sale, I just could not say no. Don't know exactly what that'd be. I have an idea in mind, but not sure yet. But I've got that, so I think it is on the way. But yeah, that is all the shopping I have done. And it looks like, well, it probably won't be by the time this goes up, but today, Wednesday, it says that her sale is still going on, which is 20% off. So if you check out her website, knittingmcpurley.com, that might still be going on. There's a code right on the website. And that is all my acquisitions. So, last section, because it is a new month, we're already talking about goals again, so let's get into it. Goals for November. If you remember, I didn't have very many because it was really focused on my move, which, was good. And I didn't really have time for a lot of making in November. But my yarn in for November was 9. That brought my year total to 150 skeins in. And my yarn out was 3. So that took 71 skeins out of my stash. My goals were DVD socks, which I finished, and pick advent patterns, which, yes, I kind of have. So if I haven't talked about it, I have 2 traditional yarn advents, the Arkansas Yarn Co. and Knitting Purl. Can you tell I have favorites? The Arkansas Yarn Co. is, I know what the colors are because I work there, so I helped put them in the bags. So I know generally, I don't have it memorized, but I know what it's going to look like in order. What I am planning on doing with that is, I believe I have mentioned it here, I plan on making a scrappy blanket. It seems like scrappy blankets are really popular with people. Obviously, it's not a pattern that's going to come out this month. Who knows when it'll come out. But I have an idea that I would like to take the 24 minis, and each color would be a certain stitch, and it'd be stitches that I enjoy in my knitting, that I find soothing, comforting, enjoyable to work on, and then mirror that on the way back. And I have a name in mind that I want to use, because if you've been here this year, it has been a rough year for me, and I have a song title that just represents that, and then the joyful stitches that are getting me through it. So that is my advent pattern for that. It's an advent pattern I haven't made yet, and it's not going to be a quick knit. It's going to be, I want to take time and think about what stitches, I know some of which I want to put in the blanket, but I also need to think about what order they need to go in so that they look good. And so that will be hopefully forthcoming. The other advent pattern is for the Knitting McPurley advent. Now her advent is a fade, and it goes from dark to light is what I know. So far, I'm not going to show the yarns I've opened on there, but I am posting daily videos on my channel here that you can go through and see me open those and show them next to each other. I have an idea for a sweater I'm planning on using. It's called the Foundation Fade sweater. It is meant for like 4 skeins of yarn fading into each other, not an advent, but I'm hoping to make that work. And again, I'm planning a lot for today, but I'm hoping to at least wind the first couple minis of that advent and start that sweater. It is a top-down sweater, and I hope to at least cast on and just start it. So it's not, either one of those are going to be ones where I keep up with every day. The only advents I'm keeping up with every day are my stripy socks from Woolens and Nosh and my spinning. So that is my advent plans. So what are the December goals? The DVD socks, of course, which would complete the 1 full year of DVD socks per month. My Musselburgh hat, definitely, absolutely needs to be finished way before the end of the month. My advent socks, I am planning on knitting just the stripes on all of those, and then once I have one of each color, I will knit the toe, and then I will add in afterthought heels at the end of that. And then the last goal I wrote on my list here is joy in all capital letters, because I was talking about that I'm feeling a little stressed. I mean, I've only done it to myself. It's my own fault. I'm not overly stressed where I'm not making. I feel like I've actually been making more so far this month than last month with the move, but I want to remember that this is my hobby. This is my joy. It's not about a race. The goals that I have signed up for, my test knit, my DVD socks, this Musselburgh hat, the advent projects, it's things I put in place for myself. But if those things are stressing me out one day, then I need to stop and just maybe watch a show and just knit on whatever I want to knit. Just let my joy move me, whether it's something I haven't worked on in 6 months or I cast on, it doesn't matter. I just want to make joy. And I know with this time of year, a lot of people are busy, a lot of people are stressed, and I invite you to do the same. Even if you're making gifts for people, just have a night of the week or a morning with your coffee where you just knit something or crochet something, spin something, read something that brings you joy, because if you're not getting joy out of this hobby in some fashion, it's going to burn you out. So I definitely don't want to do that. And I'm also, thinking beyond December. So that's all my December goals, but I'm thinking beyond December into the new year, just because, again, I've, reflecting on my year, and just, I got news right before I podcast that one of my aunts passed away. So it's just been a year. It's just been a year, and I really want positive goals for next year. And I am going to focus on my stash. Again, I'm not going to say that it's a no buy year, because that's not fun. Let's get real. And I will buy things, but I want to be mindful. I have a beautiful large stash of both yarn and fiber, and I want to use it. I have projects literally picked out, the yarn, the project already printed in a bag, ready to go. I want to start those projects that I still want. Yes, new projects always come out. I'll still cast on things, but I really want to focus on those things that I've wanted for who knows how long they've been sitting in there. So, and next year I will be doing, if you've been with me since the beginning of this, the first year I focused on stash, and I hosted a make-along all year long, where each month, if you worked a project from your stash and posted it on my Ravelry FO page, every month I'm going to pull a prize from that Ravelry and give you a skein of yarn from my stash. So reward you for using your stash to get a new skein of yarn, and a way to help me to use my stash and find something that I'm like, okay, am I going to use that? I don't know, but someone else could use that. And I think that's such a great way to kind of pay it forward. Skeins that maybe I just don't love as much as when I first got it. So I'm really excited to be doing that. I will be doing that next year. I hope you will make from your stash with me. I don't know what we're going to call it yet, but that is definitely coming for January. All right. I think that is it for now. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but that is, I feel like, my normal state of mind these days. I'm always forgetting something. So that is it for now. I thank you so much for being here, so much for returning. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. I will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.